Thanks very much, Mangalam, for giving us that perspective. The sands are shifting, well, perhaps to some extent at least. Let's get in a view from Prakash Diwan. He's joining us on this leg of the show. Prakash, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. From a high of 150 odd to 50, some of the brokers are now saying 70, as Mangalam just pointed out. Are the sands indeed shifting for Zomato?
Good afternoon, Survi. So you just need to wait for a day. And I love the way Mangalam describes these, situations so well. Interestingly, what's happening is that this entire new age businesses that went public last year, the learning curve seems to have been fairly quick and steep for them. They've seen the kind of damage, that's been inflicted upon their stock price, their reputation, their ability to continue raising money. And that's exactly also working in their favor because the environment is so difficult to raise funds for competition that anybody who's already sitting on cash and is in a stage where they can actually start getting into profitable unit economics earlier than the competition, you'll probably have a much significant market share and pricing power come back. And that's exactly happening to Zomato. Zomato has done a lot of changes in its offerings. If you would have noticed that even as a consumer, not just as a shareholder, in terms of, taking things out of the menu, what's not working for them. So I would be surprised if tomorrow's earnings call actually talks about the levers that they are working towards making this profitable if it's not already profitable. So I think that's a great respite for shareholder wealth creation. But do you buy this after 14-15% of an upside? I would not jump at it at this point in time. Even if I had to buy it at that higher, I'm sure the numbers will give you enough opportunity to see visibility in the next 4 quarters, and you will get an opportunity to enter at some point in time where the risk reward is favorable. But yes, I think the worst seems to have got over from a profitability perspective in terms of anticipation at least. But we'll wait for the validation. And as I said, it will restore confidence in a lot of the other names, not just these 2 big names, which have been disappointing, but it will make a lot of people come back. New IPOs probably start getting announced after a while. All of that action will always be positive for the markets.
All right. Prakash, stay with us. We want you to respond to one more name from the new age space, Paytm. But, let's bring in Abhishek. It's surging 14, 15. I'm not sure since its listing, I think in late 2021 it was. It's ever had, November 2021, it ever had a 14-15% kind of a day. At least I don't remember. Abhishek is here. Abhishek, there is a double upgrade from Macquarie, right?
Well, it has had a downward trend of 14-15% that we have seen earlier post the listing. However, to begin with, Macquarie has written a note on Paytm. They have double upgraded the stock to outperform from underperform. The target price is increased massively to 800 from the earlier target price of 450 per share. They say that the FY23 and 25 loss per share is estimated to be lowered by anywhere between 18% to 72%. So the biggest surprise is the distribution business, control of cashbacks and operating expenses. They say that the price matters in conjunction with the fundamentals which is there with the company. So Paytm has positively surprised on the distribution of financial services revenue by a wide margin. And they also see a very visible change in the approach of the management towards profitability. So they have raised their FY23 to 26 revenue estimate anywhere between 33% to 51%. Earlier today, we also had the business update for January coming from Paytm, which says that the number of loan disbursed is up 103% YOY and about 4.5% month on month. The value of loans disbursed, that's up 326% YOY and about 7.2% month on month. The gross merchandise value, that's up 44.5% YOY and about 1.7% month on month. Calculation shows that the average ticket size in this gross merchandise value is down about 2.9% month on month. So number of transactions have also increased by about 29% YOY and 4.7% month on month, while devices deployed, that has increased by 165% YOY and about 5.2% month on month. So all this are seeing in trade today. Back to you.
Okay, got that. Thanks, Abhishek, very much, Prashant. I like how, the terminology in the market, double upgrade, like double dhamaka. In case you're wondering what is this double upgrade, it's basically they were underperformed. They've straight gone, they didn't go to market in line. They've straight gone to an outperform. So it's like 2 levels skipped and then gone up. 14% on the stock today. Prakash, your thoughts on this one?
So we very, I think this is as compared to Zomato, the good news here is that you already seen the numbers, and then there is a very clear change in body language from the management, as Abhishek also rightly said, where they've got much more conscious of the fact that the street will only reward if there is improvement in revenue and profitability both. I mean, revenue alone by itself is not a metric that the market will keep rewarding you forever. And interestingly, a lot of the investments they made in, the non-payment businesses, apart from the core, those have started aligning very well in terms of adding some sort of a, traction. I know for sure that the kind of competition they're giving to Pine Labs on the POS, for example, it's a very strong vertical that they have realized they need to be good at, and then they naturally is a good fit for them. So those kind of things will happen. But hey, you know what? It's yet too early to sound the bugle out and say okay, everything is kind of turned around completely. They're moving in the right direction. So the markets probably, or these brokerage reports are rewarding the turn in direction and not necessarily the milestone that they have yet attained. There's much more to go. And it's a long journey. But it as I said, the selling will abate, and that's exactly why you're seeing the screen getting into this thing. What Prashant said is one of those historic days where they've been 14% up and not 14% down. So that's a little bit of a technical thing where the selling probably has got absorbed, and people have started looking at it from a hold perspective. Whatever you want to call it, the nuances of outperformance and all. But what we'll need to now watch out for is whether they don't make any mistakes in terms of pumping too much of capital into businesses which are yet very, very small and which need a lot of long-term nurturing. So, they should focus on the core business, and that's where it's going to pay off. So, yeah, so important that we track it much more closely and with a little bit of a sliver of optimism than before. But don't jump at it. 670 is not something where you're going to get amply rewarded very soon.
Okay, so tread with caution is Prakash's advice. By the way, even Nykaa is up today. Just noticing Nykaa bounce around on the screen as well. 144 on this one. That's a 5.5% up move on Nykaa. So Paytm, Zomato, Nykaa, the whole lot. The basket's moving higher. We will take a break on that note. On the other side, we'll be back with Rupen Rajguru. He's head of equity investments and strategy at Julius Baer. Get some thoughts on the market.
Invest once and enjoy guaranteed maturity with life cover with LIC's Dhan Varsha, a single premium plan for your family's security and prosperity.
टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी MDF का लो एमिशन प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, हायर डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी है, यानी ये है जहाँ नो टेंशन वहाँ.
Low emission premium plus by Century ProWood.
Suresh.
Yes, brother.
Please take care of it, huh?
Sure, I'll do it.
Really? You're concerned for it even if you're going to the village for just 2 days. But you never think about us this way.
Everything will be fine. My Rickshaw Union Group has taken LIC's Group Micro-Term Assurance Plan. Papa! Wow! Now no matter what, my family will keep moving forward.
Get LIC's Group Micro-Term Assurance Plan. Keep your family secure.
When challenges put you off, you put life back on. Full on.
Life on with on. Live life now full on.
Begin your journey towards a healthy tomorrow with Omron today.
आप जानते हैं 15 सेकंड का ऐड कितना लंबा होता है? काफी बोरिंग है, इसीलिए डायरेक्ट बता देता हूँ। आस्था ट्रेड पर ऑप्शंस में 5,000 रुपए का ब्रोकरेज फ्री। तो बनाइए फ्लो ऐप पर अपना डीमैट अकाउंट।
कभी सोचा नहीं था कि डॉक्टर फैमिली से होकर भी एक आर्टिस्ट से शादी करूंगी।
वैसे डॉक्टर को वाइफ बनाना भी एक आर्ट है।
अरे सिग्नेचर ग्लोबल आपके इसी अंदाज को सल्यूट करता है। इंडिपेंडेंट फ्लोज फॉर द इंडिपेंडेंट यू।
रेणु, लोन हो गया। बस अब सिर्फ मार्जिन अमाउंट का सवाल है।
यूनियन बैंक से गोल्ड लोन लेकर होम लोन के मार्जिन अमाउंट का पेमेंट कर सकते हैं हम।
एक मिनट, तुम्हें कैसे पता? मैं यूनियन बैंक से ही होम लोन ले रहा हूँ।
पापा, हम अपने नए घर में कैसे रहेंगे?
अपनी नई कार में।
और ये कार लोन भी यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से?
हाँ, अब घर और कार का सुनहरा सपना साकार।
यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, अच्छे लोग, अच्छा बैंक।
Bali, here I come. Beta, check the weather in Bali. Passport? Where is my passport?
Today 23 degrees, tomorrow 24.
Not today or tomorrow. After 3 months. Khanna uncle is taking all of us to Bali. He has got some solid investment tip. Doubles the money in 3 months.
Let me guess. He's received some kind of hot SMS tip, right?
Correct. How did you know?
I receive such SMSs all the time.
Acha?
If these SMSs were reliable, we'd be on a world tour every 6 months, na? Papa, relying on anonymous SMS tip? Be prepared to take a dip.
So this won't be used at all?
Oh.
सोच कर समझ कर इन्वेस्ट कर
When it comes to making your drive electric, never settle for the ordinary. Go EV with India's #1 EV, Nexon EV. Proven and trusted by over 40,000 customers. Feature loaded and safe. Offering a premium driving experience. Now with enhanced range and an exciting new price. Nexon EV. Drive what drove India electric.
Invest once and enjoy guaranteed maturity with life cover with LIC's Dhan Varsha, a single premium plan for your family's security and prosperity.
Welcome back. You're tuned to CNBC TV18 and we are coming to you live from the Motilal Oswal newsroom here in CNBC TV18. Well, the markets are looking up actually. We are holding with gains of around 165 points odd. But it's a good time to revise a couple of numbers that came just an hour or so ago. Shree Cement, well, those numbers look more or less in line. On the top line, there was a small miss. And that's despite the volumes coming a little bit better than expected. So the volumes beat our expectations by close to around 100,000 tons. That tells you that in fact realizations were a bit of a disappointment because it did see a bit of compression. You would have thought that they have some exposure to East India, so maybe realizations could get some support, but that clearly hasn't happened. The EBITDA number though is bang in line, and since the top line is a bit of a miss and the EBITDA, absolute EBITDA number is in line, that's what gives the margins to come in a little bit better. The volumes are high by close to around 23% and operating leverage has played out. Freight costs per ton are lower, other expenditure per ton as well haven't gone up as much as the volumes, and also employee costs per ton haven't gone as much. The PAT number though has missed estimates. You'll be a little bit worried, but don't be so because the operating profit is what you track very, very closely. The reason the PAT missed expectations is because finance cost is higher, depreciation is higher since they've been adding capacity, and also you have effective tax rate that was relatively high. The management says they're focusing on cost efficiencies and also they're looking to scale towards 80 million tons odd. So all in all, a fairly inline set of numbers coming in from Shree Cement. Well, Prakash, what do you make of these set of numbers? And now we have got most of them with us. Your favorite, Dalmia Bharat, well, full marks to them. Good performance coming in there. Balance sheet is fairly clean as well. They're scaling up in terms of capacity and they have some valuation comfort. So among these big boys, ACC, Ambuja, Ultratech, Shree, Dalmia and Ramco, who do you prefer?
So, Nigel, I think after these numbers from Shree, you need to put these in context. Two things that the entire industry, particularly the high capacity owners of cement businesses, are finding it extremely difficult to pass on prices. And that's exactly why you can understand the backdrop of the GST clamor for the GST reduction, right? So if that goes through, it's going to be a very different pricing dynamics for all of them to enjoy. Secondly, Shree has probably been able to move up on the value chain in terms of its capacities and economies of scale by putting all the cash that they generate back into the business, right? They've not had any acquisitions in the last many years, but they continue to reinvest in the business to be able to match up with the big boys. And I think that's going to pay them off very well once, it stabilizes. And this blink by Ambuja in terms of, now they're probably their difficulty or I would say inability, but the kind of challenges they have in terms of expanding and making more capex gives the advantage to Ultratech and Shree to be able to get some market share gains. So that's very clearly something which will work in the favor of Shree. But of course, as you said rightly, Dalmia Bharat continues to still offer great value, and the way they are scaling up, I think it's tremendous, including the inorganic route that they have adopted. So I continue to like that, but Shree, the numbers are far better, if you ask me, than what probably the market is right now responding to. And you'll probably see that build up over the next few months when the sales numbers start coming in. So definitely full marks to Shree's efficiency levels and the way they manage the costs, particularly amortizing the fixed costs over a larger capacity, and that will continue to show positive impact.
Okay. I think we lost a line there, but I think